Hey, solar companies, come here. I'm going to tell you the secret to getting highly qualified, exclusive solar leads so you can scale your business fast. But first, here's the 3 hottest ways to get leads.
Door knocking.
Hi, would you like to buy some solar panels?
Hello!
Hi!
Hi, what's up?
Welcome back to iCast Wish. I am your host, Pudgy.
Ooh.
We have Inaya and John, who are both DMs today. We have them every day. Well, yeah.
You haven't ever had me one day in your life, honey.
Alright, so...
I don't swing that way.
Yeah, your wife would be angry.
Alright, so our first set of questions today, well, I mean, typically, in case you're just, now coming in, typically I ask the DMs questions. Some of them are questions that I come up with, some of them are fans that have posted their own questions, so if you're watching this, whoever, feel free to throw in some questions for the DMs to answer.
You can drop them in the chat, drop them in, and we will definitely see them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, one of the common people who ask questions is Illiquay. So, Illiquay has 5 questions, in which I'm going to go ahead and ask. Before we start, let's do our usual thing and roll for initiative.
All
Who goes first?
Do I want to use a happy die or a lucky die?
I'm going with the purple one. It's pink.
Okay, puzzle pieces it is.
Oh, hey, look, I actually rolled low this time.
13?
You get to go first.
Lucky 13. Oh, yeah, and, first episode that we've done live since the both of us are 42, Pudgy.
Right. So, anyways, any
Happy birthday,
announcements?
And
Any
Pudgy, yours
announcements?
is 8 days before me.
Huh?
Announcements.
Any announcements?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that thing earlier.
The thing that we approved as a board?
Yes, Inaya and I, barring any of you having a complaint, gripe, or whatever, are considering putting our gaming addiction on separate playlists so it's not interfering with the obvious if you want to watch any of our campaigns, but just so that you can have all that spoiler-filled, see how we come up with the ideas for some of the stuff for our games and what we're playing right now.
Right.
Alright.
That is very loud.
Yeah, that's because the air conditioner decided that it's going to be cold all of a sudden.
Okay.
Yeah. So, starting off, Illiquay sent from the kids this week. There's 5 questions. The first question is, what is your favorite multi-class mix and why?
Okay, yeah, I rolled high this time. First time since we started doing this. DM's luck. Alright. I'll be honest, I've got a lot of favorites over the years, but my current that I'm digging on, I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the way that I've got Larice running. She's currently at level 10 as an Aberrant Mind Sorceress, and she has about to be 7 levels in the Path of Knowledge for Cleric. So all the magic, all the screw it, plus Divine Intervention, and yeah, I know I'm doubling up on caster classes, but it's totally worth it. And we needed a healer. Want to do damage and be a
What
healer?
about you and I?
My favorite. Oh god. I would have to say that I've played as a Palabarb. I played a Oath of Devotion. No, it was an Oath of Vengeance Paladin. And then split my levels down the middle with a Path of the Storm Herald Barbarian.
Ooh.
Right on.
Pissed off Rage. What about Path of the Zealot?
So close. So
So
close
that's your
to
favorite
the
multi-class mix, but why is that your favorite?
Storm Herald, Boom Boom of Lightning, and Pissed Off, plus Holy Smite of a Paladin.
with Zeus as the patron deity,
Right on.
which means all of the lightning.
Right.
All the time, forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you could only play one build for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pure College of College of Blades Bard. Because I'll be perfectly honest, I don't need any other skill set. The way that they're built, the way that they're designed, they're broken. They can heal you, they can taunt you, they can debuff, and they can gut them like a fish.
Mm-hmm. How'd you want to be?
Dude took out a panzer division. He had help, but
Right.
one of them tanks was his.
I would say if I could only play one build, so that would be top to bottom build, I'd have to say I'd go with Eladrin, and then it would definitely be some kind of Palabarb build. So I might limit it to just the first three or four levels of Barbarian.
Okay, so we're just gonna call that class something from Rage Against the Machine, and it's the killing in the name of. I mean, seriously, if you mix a barbarian with a fucking paladin, you've got somebody who's killing in the name of an oath.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all they do. Smashing in the name of.
Are there any new plans for the channel coming up that we can look forward to?
Well, I guess we talked about that a little bit in the announcements.
Yeah, if you guys are down to watching us game and all of that wondrousness, we're down to start posting our gaming addictions on there. I'm probably going to try and launch myself a very cautious permadeath on No Man's Sky, and once I have a planet, name it by the dice. And then we'll be building a broadcast center. Yeah, that one's on okay, the one that I have right now
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
running on that
Yeah.
is on the standard issue relaxed server. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
permadeath mode.
I got you.
But for
Yeah.
those people who want to hardcore it, we can totally go and set that up, and I'll make sure to post the coordinates once I get it started.
Right.
Oh, one sec. That might be my.
Charge.
Yep. Hello?
Other than that, if you guys want to hang out with us while we're gaming and talk to us, I play Smite, Ark at times, No Man's Sky, and I've just got a hold of Starfield. And I'm thinking that if I stream that, I want to go for a straight scoundrel run and see who likes the idea.
Well, just so that way they know what type of consoles do you play on? Like, what kind
I'm a straight PC gamer. I'm a keyboard commando. Like, it's a keyboard and a mouse and a very, very nice desktop tower.
Just so everybody knows, it is a super sensitive mouse.
Oh, you can turn that down. The button in the middle of it, if you click it once, it'll put it down to its lowest setting. I've got it jacked all the way up to gamer sensitivity.
Right on.
That way I only have to move my arm this much in order to put the cursor all the way across. So when I'm like playing Smite and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I can do a 360 rotate with a quarter turn on my wrist.
Right on.
All good? Cool. That might have been a call from a child, and, well, children first.
Was a call from a child, but it was just question real quick, not actual problem.
Good.
Okay.
Otherwise, this would be a very short stream.
Yeah.
Because 3 adults would be leaving.
What about you? What kind of game would you be streaming, and what kind of platform would you be playing on?
Well, my primary games that I play are games like Unboxing, this little Townscape. It's called Townscapes. It's this
Yeah.
little like city builder, map building thing. I play The Sims 4 and The Sims 3 just because I like to look back and go, oh yeah, the graphics for this game suck.
Better than 2. And if you ever played the original.
I was gonna be putting on my personal channel. I have the BioShock series,
Okay.
and I was gonna play all the way through the original BioShock.
1, 2, 3, and then Infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also need to revisit Dishonored, and I need to revisit Thief for stuff that I want to throw at you guys.
I think it's Infinite. It's either Infinite or it's
Yeah, it's
Inaya.
Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite. I have all three.
Mhm.
Well, there's three, and then there's an additional one. But I can't remember the name of it. It's some offshoot name.
Not sure.
But
Either
other
way,
than that,
the fourth one sucks. The storyline sucks. The gameplay stinks.
yeah.
Okay, so then there were only 3 Bioshock games. Got it.
Yeah. The additional was not even worth it.
Yep.
If it
What
doesn't exist-
platform do you play these on?
I play mostly on PC.
Okay. What player-specific things do you consider while building the game? I.e., special considerations for Inaya, or Chris, or Pudgy, or John, etc.
Oh,
Good
God.
question.
Great question. Alright, so breaking it down from the top, I built a world. And the NPCs that they run into, what the interactions are like, what those NPCs will and won't tolerate, personalities, how those personalities will or will not clash with the players themselves. Yes, I've actually written NPCs that are meant to just irritate the shit out of you. And there are NPCs that are written that are supposed to be hateful, grudgeful bastards that you all love. Ishkabibble.
I mean,
Everybody loves that little goblin for some reason.
I mean, all of that kind of makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, like, I talk to my players about what they're looking to get out of their campaign. Like, what kind of stuff they want to fight. Things that they want to, like, the kind of problems that they want to tackle in a fantasy world that they just can't fight that dragon and beat it here in the real world. That kind of shit's what I try to aim for you guys. And I like to think that I'm doing a reasonably decent job of at least throwing a little bit of something in for everybody every game. You can't please all the people all the time, or some of the people some of the time, some of the people some of the time, all of the people some of the time, but you can never please all the people all the time.
Yep.
It's good.
Excuse me.
Yeah. My answer doesn't stray too much from that. I built a world and I do my best to include things for everyone. I've got one player that has their character up on the chopping block, so I have straight said to their face, and I think so on camera as well, I'm gunning for you.
The last question from Ilikwe is, if you were to build a one-shot game just for the other DM, exactly what would you build?
Technically, it's already about halfway constructed because I created a psychological horror mystery that fucks with my head.
That's got my name
And
all over it.
Inaya has been asking me forever to trigger the shit out of them during game. The fact of the matter is that they would need to have their psychiatrist on speed dial for me to be willing to run this,
Thank you.
and with a free schedule. Because they're probably going to need it. I wrote originally just to test out a particular area and a big bad that I created, known very lovingly as the Puppet Maker, or the Doll Maker. The Doll Maker has its own nursery rhyme. I'll release that at some point further in the future.
Yep.
And the Doll Maker is a very interesting person that I don't want to spoil any bit of what it does. I can tell you that parts of it are human. Other parts are not. And it made itself this way.
If I were to build a one-shot game just for you, it would be built on the Starfinders and stuff. but I would not restrict it to only what Starfinder has to offer. I mostly like Starfinder because of the way ships can be built and the expansiveness of their space build.
Yeah, that's what I'm digging about Starfield. You can ask Pudgy. I've got one sexy ship right now. The big purple dildo.
Yeah.
I would build you a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy experience.
Yeah, I'm planning on Zaphoid people roxing Starfield, so.
I don't know. In my head, your ship's called the Shallomander.
The Shallowmander?
Yep.
Why shallow?
Because it's a shorter version of the Salamander. It doesn't have the long tail.
Oh yeah, that's right. The shell. I did add a cargo bay to the back end though.
Yeah.
What, I can carry a metric ton now.
I
That's
think
what
I'd be
it was.
more impressed if it would look like a dragonfly. That would be more impressive.
I will see what I can do about figuring out a way to build one like that.
Right.
I'd have to find a base frame to fuck off first.
Yeah.
But I'm figuring out shipbuilding on Starfield.
Yep.
And I have the Mantis ship, and that's the one I'm probably going to modify. It has stealth.
Alright, so since we ran out of Ilikwe's questions, we now have my 4 questions.
Uh-oh.
The first one is it easier to play a published module or one you've created?
As a player or a DM?
As a DM.
Honestly, excuse me. It's a really good joint. It's easier to run modules.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, all things considered, I'd have to start it over from chapter 1. And I'm willing to blow through it as quickly as possible because I know this group. I'm considering, since I've got the module for it, and I don't have the module unless somebody wants to help us out for for Strahd for Halloween this year. I'm thinking that I can horror twist the Light of Xerxes without any problem. I'll just start the characters off on Nox in the Felllands. I have the template for Fell Touch up now, so that
See, that's why you should do the DM campaign for Halloween, because I don't have enough time to make one.
Hey, if I work with you on the, because you've been talking about wanting to DM a one-shot for a minute. I have a really good pre-made one-shot that I wanted to play for Christmas.
Okay.
But I would totally walk you through it and hand over the reins to you.
Would it be good for a Halloween episode, though?
No.
it's a Yuletide type deal.
Okay, so I mean, it would be good if we were doing like a Krampus kind of thing for Christmas.
Well, I'm talking because you wanted to DM, and if you're going to hand off Halloween to John, I will totally hand off Christmas to you so that you can still get your DMing experience.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then you can give us the Yuletide Krampus cheer. Oh man. I'm sorry. Now I'm apologizing so that I don't have to at Yule. I just realized that means that in the grander scheme of things, you're going to end up with me. You're going to end up with all the major nut monkey wrench throwers all in the same one shot.
It's okay. I hate the holiday, so if it ruins it, it's all good.
Well, if you have fun, and this particular module is like built for beginner DMs, you might actually have a ton of fun running it and have a new Christmas tradition that makes Christmas awesome.
Oh yeah,
That's
we need
a
to pull the
possibility.
Leprechaun's Ball episode so that we can figure out what mechanics I have to write down for that. I would love some help with that.
Absolutely.
If you can get me some base notes on how the fuck did I come up with all of that so that I can go and give all the lore that's missing out of the episode.
Yep.
We can write that as a module, and yeah, I will totally figure out a way to sell that on GM's Guild.
Right.
So, next question. How soon before game do you suggest that your players inform you of character or equipment changes?
24 hours, bare minimum.
Character changes, I'd like a little bit of notification. Honestly, in a grander, beautiful world where life-threatening emergencies don't happen and douchebaggery doesn't exist, I'd have 24 hours. The only thing I need 24 hours for is one of y'all not going to be there. I would love it if that happens.
Yeah.
It rarely does.
Yeah.
But where it's doable, people are at least respectful there because they totally get that that's like I have to cram a week's worth of writing now that I've kind of come out last episode and explained how much shit I put into that. And now I've got 2 weeks to work. That's why I love your break because I don't have to think for a week and then I can come at it fresh.
Yep.
But like, oh my god. Honestly, you're responsible for your character is my mentality on it. If you're making a change to like your character's stats or you want to change their character class, I need you to run that past me because of things that are built into the creature mechanics and the encounter mechanics.
Yep.
But unless unless it's going to directly affect how your character functions in the party, because I design all of these so that you guys can win. To be perfectly honest, I don't want notification. Oh, you changed your weapons? If you got with me because you were looking for a magical item and we rolled it and figured it all out throughout the week, cool. That's great. I don't care if it was 20 minutes before game. I mean, come on, Chris gave me, what, an hour and a half before game he showed up and had me switch him over to Arcane Trickster or help him.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, that was a little bit of a rush job, but I already knew it was coming because he talked to me before, and I've been kind of designing things so it'd work. It was bumpy at first. But for me, you all surprising me is what makes it fun. Like, I'm still waiting for you to get that blue glowing viscous material identified. Because
Right.
I get a laugh out of when it does. No matter how it's sliced, I will get a laugh out of that.
Right on. Currently, I'm going to drink my unicorn pee.
Well, that's fine because Inaya finished their big bowl of unicorn poop.
I could go for another one.
It's
I'm
out
telling
there.
you, them unicorns, they eat some interesting shit.
Seriously, it's out there. If you want more, go ahead.
For the record, people, unicorns
I
shit
could
rainbow
use the
sherbet
wonder that you did.
and fart glitter.
It's okay, I'm just gonna powder my bowl and then go home and eat strawberries.
What about you, Inaya? How soon before game do you suggest that your players inform you of character or equipment change?
Equipment changes an hour or two before game, just so I know that there's been a change to equipment. But at least a day for anything else. And like John said, if emergencies happen, if you know you're not going to be there, give us a heads up as soon as you can. If an emergency happens, okay, I understand.
Alright.
We'll roll with it.
Yep.
The show must go on. There's at least one group in Canada that absolutely we must go air for.
Right.
We actually do like you guys a lot and appreciate you.
So, as both a player and a DM, is it easier to voice your NPCs or your PCs?
Depends. If I am playing Joie de Vivre, it is easy for me to voice my PC. But if I'm playing fucking Ishkabibble, yeah, my motherfucking name me that asshole, what do you want? It's just as easy. Did that cover the answer well enough?
I don't know. I just want to, at some point in time, like, if it wasn't going to ruin the game, I would probably get Ishkabibble and just say Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Now what the fuck do you want? I don't see no ghost with the most. I'll exorcise that bastard. There, you happy?
Yeah.
Well, for me, a lot of my characters' voices are based off my own voice. Maybe just heightened a little or pressed aside. So voicing my characters is quite easy. But if you ask me to get into Meridian, because she's my current favorite NPC, and she does a lot more talking. She's got a bit more of an accent. She drives into. I actually have to go listen to her a couple of times and be like, oh yeah, okay.
Wait, Meridian's like your Uber bitch in the same way that Ishkabibble's mine.
Yeah.
One of these days, those two just need to have a conversation about the parties they're dealing with.
Right?
See, me personally as a player, like I have a lot of voices for my characters in my head, but they never make them out.
There's a trick to that. Forget about the camera. Forget about giving a fuck, and just decide.
Well, see, like for mine, it's more along the lines of like pronunciation, or what words. Like you can't sit here and say "Good day, mate," and you be fucking like Scottish. It doesn't work.
Right.
Good day, mate. Yes, I can.
Okay, but I'm saying
Fuck your couch. Yes, I can.
I'm saying it more that it doesn't sound correct, so I don't use the voices.
Right.
Good day, mate.
But I mean,
no,
like,
that's just terrible.
Right? But I mean, like, to give you an idea, like, Wisp, in my mind, whenever I talk with Wisp, like, if I could actually do a voice for Wisp, it would sound like the original dragon from Dragonheart, played by Sean Connery. It would have that, like, strong Scottish accent to it. And that's what I perceive Wisp as being in my head.
Oh. Okay, so I have a recommendation as somebody who obviously fucks with their voice on a very regular basis and practices in a mirror way too much. And in the shower when you're not around. No, like, totally, I've had conversations between Ishkabibble, Joie de Vivre, and like 3 or 4 of my NPCs, including Penelope in the shower. It's really weird when Penelope's in the shower with Joie de Vivre.
Well, I've also thought about okay, so here's the really funny thing. So for my barbarian on Foodies, alright, I've honestly thought that if I was going to give him a voice, it would be, Jack Black, like when he did Poe for, Kung Fu Panda. I was like, dude, that would be fucking awesome for my fucking barbarian, but it never comes out.
Here's what I recommend you do in order to get there.
I feel pretty.
Kinda, yeah. You've got a record option on your phone, or you can get an app that will, so that you can voice record yourself, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of figured. So what
What
you're
is
going
the
to
pronunciation that fucks with me? That's why I haven't done it yet.
Well, screw that. Go with what you've got. There's nothing stopping you.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, it's a work in progress, and we're just going to encourage you being goofy for a minute until you get it down. So what you do is, like in the case of playing Wisp, you say he sounds like Sean Connery from Dragonheart. So the original Dragonheart movie is totally watchable and streamable these days, easy and cheap. So I would recommend that you go and watch that movie, and in parts where you want that certain part of the accent, and find other Sean Connery movies where he does the same thing. Listen to it, watch it, study how he inflects it, record yourself, listen to him, hit pause, hit play back, and try and figure out how it feels in your throat and in your mouth when you're rolling the letters that way. Yeah, I know. That's what she said.
Yeah.
The really bad part is I wasn't going with the whole "that's what she said," because to me that's kind of sexist. I was sitting there thinking that's what they said.
Yes, that is what they said. And maybe even they at that point.
Meridian and Ishkabibble having a conversation. These fuckers come to my door thinking they can just ask me whatever they want.
Really? Have you seen that fucking piece of shit they dropped off with me?
No, and I don't want to.
Well, they tried. I sent it back.
These fuckers come to my door. I'm playing this gigantic fucking ship, right? It's attached to my. You can't tell the difference between my body and the ship. That's how it works.
Kinky.
And they ask me to lift it off the ground and flip it in the air without throwing it through outer space to position it in facing a different part of this tiny little rock.
What's your idea of a tiny rock? Are we talking like a 20-foot boulder, or?
I mean, it's the corpse of a goddess, but it's still, in comparison to a planet, it's maybe at best going to fit their luxury resort in it.
Wait, they're building a luxury resort in a god's body?
They killed the goddess,
Which goddess?
Ahsoka.
Oh, fuck, I was hoping it was Paylor. Sorry, Lord. You shit on me my whole life. What do you want? Yeah, that's right. I live in Paylor's sewers. That's where my order is based out of.
You poor thing.
Yeah, I get shit on by a platinum dragon regularly. You want to talk about something bad? Have you ever seen the size of a platinum dragon?
Aye?
Have you ever seen the size of a dragon's shit?
Aye?
Do you know what a platinum dragon eats?
Aye?
No? Precious metals and gemstones.
Oh.
So this too will pass. Well, as a result, see this lump right here? This dent over here? The way that my shoulder just doesn't quite sit right, I can get out of the way fast enough when the bastard flushed.
Oh my. I fly a ship that is alive and conscious in its own right. You can grow food if you plant the seed. Just easy as pie. And these fuckers wonder why I slam the door in their face. When they come to me and they're like, hey, could you do this really tight maneuver without throwing this massive multi-ton ship into outer space for funsies? Why? So they could throw a bomb into the middle of the thing they're trying to build a resort in.
Seems like a logical way to hollow it out.
I mean, sure, but they could have been a little bit less. Hey, do this hard thing for us, and then be offended when I shut the door in their face and make them catch themselves. All right, I'll do it. Woof.
Oh God, you're gonna make me do my job, aren't you? Oh. Alright. Come here, you ungrateful little wench. Reaches out his hand, lays it on, well, he would be reaching for her shoulder, but because he's a 2.5 foot tall goblin, he manages to cop a feel. In the name of Paylor, squeeze, squeeze, I bless you, squeeze, squeeze, and offer you solace for all that you have had to deal with. Squeeze, squeeze. And casts Calm Emotions as a 20th level caster.
Alright, so, back to the questions now.
That's gonna be a clip all by itself.
Is it more common to fudge your rolls or modify your NPCs to avoid TPKO?
Modify the NPCs.
Yeah, modify the NPCs.
You know, they suddenly trip, stub their toe, have a transcrotal piercing by a tree branch.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you'd giggle at that idea.
So,
Front to back.
I vote that currently, since I don't have any more questions, either we go on a bio break and come up with some questions, or we in campaign. Or
In campaign.
stream.
Woohoo!
Well,
Like,
we've
in
only
stream.
been at this for about a half an hour, so
That's what I'm saying.
I could step out and have a cigarette. I could use another chocolatini.
Yeah, and then I could pretty please Pudgy into working that mysterious magic with that unicorn poop.
Right? I mean, there's no, like, pretty pleasing in there. I mean, I'll do it, but yeah.
Well, you know what? If I'm gonna be an asshole about it, then I owe you something. So if I go
Alright.
please, I don't.
So if anybody is actively watching or in the live chats, I've actually got my phone on me. I'll be watching live chat and all of that good stuff. Going to go have a quick cigarette break, pour more drinks, and then we'll be back with our insanity.
Yeah, and if you have any, like, comments or questions, like, just go ahead and post them in, you know, like we were saying before, as long as it pertains to the game or the characters or
Stuff we're planning with the channel.
stuff we're
even.
playing with the channel even, I don't have a problem asking any question,
Yep.
as long as it's not perverse. I mean, well, I can't
Too
say-
perverse.
As long as it's not too perverse.
As long as you're not like crossing sexual harassment lines, we're pretty much cool with it. I mean, boundaries, people.
I'm gonna let one of you guys who's more experienced with that the system over there than myself, because knowing my luck, I would end up ending instead of transitioning.
We will be right back. We're back.
Welcome back.
Hi. Well, in a second.
So, about them questions.
I sees no questions in the chat room.
Yeah. There are no questions in the chat room. That's why I was like, so,
About them questions.
about them questions.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking.
what if you have any questions?
I don't know. I don't know. My brain is. What is currently?
Right?
No, it's on unicorn poop. Yeah. Just one scoop. It's a palate cleanser, it turns out. But, questions.
As DMs, what do you consider your players to be? Ranged, melee, magical, or all of the above?
It really depends on each of the players. Like, Inaya really is trying to be melee, but really aches for range. Chris wants magic and range, but still wants to be all dagger stabby about it. So I might end up having to homebrew a fucking character class.
Yeah, I'm.
Pudgy, you're all of the above. It just kind of depends on your mood in the moment. So the Hexblade works out great because if you feel like you need to be up and close, you could be in their grill and put that sword through them. But if it's the other way around, come on, you circle of death an entire room from 60 feet away where you knew you'd be aight.
Right. Actually, the really bad part is I didn't even put myself into consideration whenever I cast it. I literally put like all the other players into consideration before I cast it.
Yeah.
See, and I have to put that into consideration when I'm building the encounters because Wisp really doesn't give it, is selfless like that. Not suicidal, just selfless.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to die, but doesn't mind it.
As long as there's a good reason behind it.
Yep.
keeping 4 or 5 friends alive is a good reason.
Yeah.
Ooh, good topic idea. Our favorite moments from the various campaigns.
I absolutely loved doing the dragons in downtown.
Oh god, yes.
Dropping that guy in a pea field decanter off the top of the Hull Center. Because he was a proud boy.
Yeah, that was fun. And just handing. I think it was you and Pudgy. I just handed y'all some proud boys to play with.
It wasn't Pudgy. I don't think he was here for that. That was me and Liz.
Are you sure?
No, it was.
Yeah, I did Dragons in Downtown.
Oh yeah, you did. Towards the end of it, you did do that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just kind of gave us some of them proud boys to handle.
My character was a bard.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we had the double bard going.
Yeah, it was Tanakh.
Mhm. To knock or not to knock? That is the
Right.
question.
I created Tanakh because I had just watched Tenacious D pick up Destiny, and Tanakh being on the back of Jack Black's ass cheek kind of like stuck in my head, and I'm like, yeah, Tanakh. It's a good name for a character. Good name for a bard. It's a
I love
solid name.
It's a name that rocks.
Yep, to knock. I'd have to say one of my favorite moments was Larisse on horseback.
Oh God. Yeah. She doesn't know how to do shit with animal handling.
Whoa, shit!
Tell it whoa. Whoa shit.
Or the way that Larisse strapped herself into the dragon saddle. I'm going to lose consciousness. I'm not going to fall out.
Uh-huh. I'm aware of my shortcomings. Oh, yeah. You were there for that insanity. She really was that afraid of heights, too. That's the worst part of it.
But yeah, you don't remember me being there? You and I were the ones that destroyed a panther.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did kind of eat that panther. And then backed another one up over some shit.
Yeah.
And then
I will say I am kind of sad that we shut down Dragons in Downtown because of the influence that was here causing that isn't here anymore, but because certain players were having trouble with me trying to break away from the political conversation as much as possible. Because we were still trying to just play a game.
yeah, and to be perfectly honest, we'd gotten to the point where the giant orange Oompa Loompa was big bad evil guy, and we were just going to take over.
Yeah.
At which point we are definitely not on the normal timeline anymore, and we're in a better reality.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of even Tanaka alone running the United States would be much better for the United States. Maybe not for the people in power, but for the people, it would be a much better country.
Yeah.
We are lonely bards. We hear the people. We tell them stories. We keep them informed. So, we care about them. They pay our bellies.
Like, really, any D&D campaign set in modern day America is going to have political language and political themes. Because the big bads today's people are facing are politicians.
Yeah, and I'd just love to point this out since we're going there. By level 10, the average wizard is the reason why not one fucked up socio-political system like ours exists in a fantasy world. Because by level 10, you can cast Fireball twice in a day. And you know the nice thing about Fireball is as long as there's an empty space on the other side of that wall, you're casting for a point in a planar, you don't have to see the target. So all it would take is a wizard walking into Congress, like the front door, so that they're within their 120 feet range, casting Fireball while Congress was in session, and poof! 20-foot radius in all directions. That covers 40 feet around, and then there's the residual burning of the building.
Yep.
There's no government. This is why in fantasy worlds, the king has power, spells, armies, wizards at his command, and is capable of doing all kinds of magical shit and having magical items.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's a tyrant like they have now, in those realms, no, some low-level commoner is gonna walk up and nuke your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Walk in, cast lightning clash, and all of a sudden the entire Congress is a testicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. See, this is why there's a part of me
Or
being...
my favorite spell, chain lightning.
It doesn't bounce to enough places for that.
Yeah, I know. But it's still one of my favorite spells.
On the other hand, create water cast and boosted to level 20 after turning the entirety of the congressional floor into a wall or into a concrete cell with shaped stone. Well, blub, blub, blub. Then you just drain it out, and you cast Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
All the bones are picked clean by scarabs.
I mean, you could always do, the recipe that Brandon would tell me about. Just go into a room and cast Destroy Water, and everything in there turns into a raisin.
There are catches to that make it so it doesn't work. You have to be able to see the water for starters.
Yeah.
Though there's a loophole to that if you could craft a custom illusion spell. Craft it or a divination spell that outlines and makes the water in a person's body glow. Then Destroy Water is viable because you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could also take and put in a giant pie in the middle of the room, and while everybody's drooling, just pull the water out.
Oh, here's a good question that I got from someone outside of our usual viewership. They wanted to know if you could beat Curse of Strahd, if you could grab a hold of Strahd himself and cast Purify Food and Drink. And my answer was absolutely not, because Strahd himself is not vampire food.
I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't make input.
Strahd is the big bad evil in a module that I would love to be able to run, but it would take longer than just a one shot. He's a vampire. And you're right, he's not vampire food. On the other hand, because Strahd, that would completely depend on, you know how there's that weird cannibalism feat in one of the books? The one that makes it so that you can eat. That's 100% based on fucking alignment for me. Chaotic, neutral, or lower? Yes, Purify Food and Drink would totally work if they touched fucking Strahd. He would have a chance to resist a spell save difficulty equal to theirs, and his is a pretty good save on that. It'd be a Constitution save too, so good luck. He's a vampire. Have you seen Strahd's Constitution score?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna Constitution save against it, but yeah, I'll let you Purify Food and Drink and kill him. That would be like power word kill to him if you're a cannibal. Chaotic, neutral, or less, so that you're well and aware of the fact that we're all meat. Neutral or lower, actually, because at neutral, if it comes down to dire straits, they'll eat elf.
Yep.
And our parties have all discussed this. It's only cannibalism if you're the same species. An elf could totally eat human without being a cannibal. At least in Nox. That's right. Wisp could eat every one of his homeboys. Pudgy.
Oh, I know.
And he's not a cannibal. You eat another tabaxi, you're a fucking cannibal.
Yeah.
Well, when you have truly a multiracial culture versus a multi-pigmentational culture.
I mean, to be fair, I would also feel like a cannibal if I ate an actual cat or a kitten. Or a tiger, or a lion, or anything.
Or a
feline.
pussy.
Well, it depends on the pussy, but. But yeah, I mean, you know, if I ate any kind of feline animal, I would feel a little like a cannibal.
What about Sphinx? That's a gray area. Body of a lion, head of a human, wings of an eagle.
I mean, at that point,
Is that cannibalism or
as long as you don't eat that part?
the body's a lion? So what, you gonna have eagle wings?
Yeah, eat the wings,
And
the
eat the
head.
brain?
Yeah.
Okay, so we now know that Wisp will only eat the wings and brain off of a Sphinx. And the eyeballs. Jellied.
Yeah.
Candied eyeball. Probably a tongue sandwich.
Right. Well, I mean, the head isn't a lion, so I mean, obviously you eat the head.
Well, the head's mostly bone, brains, tongue, and yeah, eyeball.
Yeah.
And cartilage. Do you like pig ears, Wisp?
Why not?
It's kind of like a puppy. I'll have to remember that.
Also, since it was pointed out to me, I take way too much of my campaign from children's shows.
I pull a good chunk of mine from Isekai anime, the video games that I play, random how can I screw with these people things. Like, Angel of Death. It's an anime on the streaming site I use. Gave me a lot of the runnings for the doll maker. Like a lot of the ideas for how that character came to, as well as a few other really fucked up anime series.
See, I would get most of my information, like if I was DMing, I would probably get most of my info from like old movies. Depending on like what kind of feature it would be. For example, if it was a Halloween episode, originally when I was thinking about doing the DM for the Halloween episode for the one shot, I was thinking of like a whole horror aspect. Like old school horrors, not some of the new age shit.
We need to get Pudgy a copy of Ravenloft. Ravenloft is an expansion to the 5e set. I don't know if it's third party or not, or did they actually adopt it finally? Wait, Strut's Creative Commons, so yeah, they did. Because he's one of the lords. If we introduced you to the Ravenloft setting for campaign,
Yeah.
you'd be golden.
Wasn't Ravenloft part of one of the pieces that was in Vox Machina?
That was Greymore.
Okay.
Ravenloft is in and of itself an entire extra dimension. It's a pocket dimension.
Okay.
Like, if I'm going to describe it to you as a player, it's a pocket dimension where a prime evil runs a region.
Okay.
Each region is run by this prime evil, and they control whether things can or cannot leave its borders. You can teleport to Ravenloft, but without the prime evil of the region you're in's permission, you cannot leave.
Okay.
Yep.
That being the case, you have a few options on ways to get this done, if they're willing to be honest with you in a straight shooter. Good luck, they're all evil. This is the place where people go when hell doesn't want them.
So in other words, it'd be a good place to say, I don't know, play a version of Squid Games that involved, oh, if you want to leave this place, you all have to compete in these interesting games.
Yes, and all of us trying to keep ourselves and each other alive as we went.
Okay.
that is the kind of thing that happens. And to give you an idea, there is one realm in the 3.5 rendition of it that was run by a Death Knight. And everyone in the entirety of the realm was dead. They worked the fields. Imagine zombies and skeletons working the fields, cooking their meals and eating them like they were still alive. But the second that anything alive touches the ground there, they all go to action in Legion.
See, you mentioning that kind of makes me want to go along with that meme and create a character now.
It's like Evil Dead 2 gone wrong is what Ravenloft is in some areas.
See, now I kind of want to make a necro bard, like that meme.
Go Necromancer Bard.
Yeah.
Sing the corpses into control. With the way 5e runs, technically you can use a bard's spell focus for your wizard spells once you're a bard. So you can totally sing wizard spells into fucking existence. Necrobardy.
I can see it now. Start singing "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," and instead of the
Power
bodies hitting
kill.
the floor, like skeletons start coming up from the ground.
That works too.
I don't know. Personally, if I was gonna sing a song that made made
I need
skeletons
corpses,
rise.
give me more. I need corpses, give me more.
No, I was thinking more along the lines of like kill all the white people.
Ironically, sang by four white guys.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Typo Negative is, they're 4 dicks from Brooklyn. It's actually the name of an album,
Yeah.
as was Origin of the Feces.
Yep.
Basically, what's this mean? Asshole.
One of their good songs was "Bloody Kisses."
They had a lot of really good songs,
They
actually.
really did.
Yep.
It's sad when their lead singer died, but, well, dude was a giant for starters.
Yeah.
Also, any man who plays a stand-up symphony bass on an industrial chain like a guitar, damn.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you mashing your unicorn poop?
Oh, and that's the other thing. Today being September 21st and the autumnal equinox, it is officially the beginning of the greatest season of all seasons. Spooky season!
Yeah.
Yes, Kayla, that means you can get the rest of the Halloween decorations out.
And don't put any fucking Christmas decorations up till after Thanksgiving. At least.
Oh no, she started early this year, so I get November 1st.
I plan on getting.
No.
I plan on getting some supplies. In
I'm
the
sorry,
future,
Kayla, you can
decorating my Jeep like I normally do every year. The only cool thing is out here I don't have to take my decorations off.
Right?
Yeah, there is that one guy who walks around in the dead thing covered creature car.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. Nope. Kayla started decorating early this year without telling me. So, the appropriate comeuppance, as agreed upon by both of us, is that she will be helping me put up the Christmas decorations on November 1st.
Oh yeah.
We had an agreement.
You have to at least wait until November 2nd because All Saints Day is the follow up to All Souls Night, and if you're going to honor one, you honor the other.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll probably wait, but yeah.
no, like seriously, if you're going to honor the holidays traditionally, All Souls Night is October 31st, and All Saints Day is the 1st of November. As a result, it being the day when those who are blessed rise, it would be very poor taste to actually put up your Christmas decorations.
That might be persuasive enough.
Rollies, I get advantage.
Rollies.
Do I get advantage for that argument? You're
Yeah.
the DM.
Sure.
17, 11.
Still beat my 10.
Cool, I bought you an extra day, Kayla. Love you. And we have video evidence.
Right?
Alright, so it is 13 till 6.
We've been at this for a mad hour of us talking our ears off. And
It's a
annoying
combination
people.
of talking, bio break, but it's been roughly about an hour. It's probably about like 45 minutes of sound minimum.
So to those who have listened, thank you for listening, and thank you to White Bat Audio for the soundtrack. They are absolutely awesome for all of my video game old 80s techno addiction
Right.
sounds and such. They actually have a lot of really nice soundtracks and they're royalty free. They just want acknowledgement.
Thank you
Yep.
for being a friend.
I'm willing to say, look out for my
Been down that road and
my
back
Bioshock
again.
1 playthrough at the very least sometime this week. I'm willing to say that because it's what I'm doing. I do not put timestamps on other people's work.
We had a baby, it's a boy.
Really?
Yep.
How?
Poop particles.
Curse splat. Okay. So with that, please remember, like, share, subscribe, torment other people with us if you find us worth it.
Right?
Force them to watch it. Your options are plastic wrap, duct tape, nylon zip ties, or the good old fashioned rope.
Oh, wait, hold on. There is the less aggressive approach that is oftentimes workable. Get them really stoned.
Most best thing, use your silver tongue like I do. Convince them.
Yeah. We'll talk about the madness that is his silver tongue another time.
There's not enough episode.
And Bailey, I say this as a friend since I know you're going to be watching later because I just talked to your wife. I can only answer your questions on live if you're in on live. So you should totally log in and ask all your questions.
Yeah.
In other words, you got told.
No, I love you. I'm glad you guys are keying in at least after stream.
Yeah, we do actually value everybody's feedback, opinions, and things of that nature as our stream grows and changes. We want it to be something that you all are entertained by. If that's us playing video games, keeping the live stream on so that you can actually hear our commentary and things of that nature while we're doing things.
Right?
And chat with us, or
I mean, hell, to be honest, I'd go as far as to strip, but I don't want to any exposure charges, so that's why I'm not.
actually that goes against the community standards for YouTube. No booby, no nakedness.
Nobody said I had to be naked. I could put electric tape over my nipples and pull my boxers to where they're like a man thong and just dance around.
Yes, yes, you could. I have only seen this.
About 1,000 times.
Yeah, it really lost the
Oh,
entertainment value after
Bailey
the
has
first.
appeared. Serena Berkowitz in chat. Ha ha ha, the evil has arrived.
Oh wow! Just as we were getting ready to wrap up. So what you want to know?
Yeah.
Who you won't
ask
kill?
away. We will stay live.
We just got some time.
Just for you. Would terminal velocity make dropping rocks from a bag of holding more deadly? Asking for an artificer.
Okay, so interesting fact: a bag of holding is considered an extra-dimensional space with no gravity whatsoever. As a result, the velocity only works from the point at which the exit portal of the bag is, in my opinion. So it depends on how high the artificer is up in the air. Standard distance up from the ground in order to reach terminal velocity is at least 255 feet.
Yep.
Don't ask how I know that.
Well, keep going, Bailey. We will answer many a question. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say the same thing. Bags of holding do not have gravity of their own, therefore your bag of rocks is not currently falling, therefore it cannot have reached terminal velocity.
On the other hand, if you happen to be like 200 feet up in the air with a bag of holding full of rocks, or up 200 feet on a cliff with a bag of holding full of rocks, I will totally give you the full 500 pounds of rocks that'll fall out of that bag of holding.
However, you could also do the illogical, logical thing, which is take a sword and put it in handle first into your bag of holding. So when you flip your bag of holding upside down and go to pull the sword out, it'll come out tip first.
Actually, it always comes out the way that's safest for you. Unless it's a bag of devouring, and then you might lose your hand.
Yep.
Yes, I have. Not would. Have.
See, here's the question, though. If you stuff Wisp in the bag of holding with the rocks, could they achieve terminal velocity?
Oh yeah. I would figure something out.
Let's see.
Yeah, because you'd have 10 minutes before you keeled over.
How damaging would
Yeah.
1,000 feet in the feet with 50 pounds of rocks and a bag of 500 pounds? All right. How damaging would 1,000 feet with 500 pounds of rocks and a bag of holding on a broom of flying be?
So you're carpet bombing people with rocks? Why aren't you using Greek fire? That's my first question, but we'll get back to that. Let's see. We're going at all those rocks will reach terminal velocity. I'm assuming they're all hand-sized rocks. If they're
How big are your rocks? That's a good question.
not your proverbial rocks, because obviously you got a set in order to be asking this question. But yeah, how big are the stones we're talking about here?
Yeah, because if they're hand-sized, I would say that at 1,000 feet on a broom of flying.
Rough estimate on each rock weighing a pound, dropping 1,000 feet, meaning it hit terminal velocity, making it a 3D12 rock. 500 pounds worth of them, so 500 rocks, saying that they weigh roughly a pound apiece. Drop it down to 450 to go differentiate for the node size. So 450.
Skipping stone sized.
Fuck you.
Yep.
Okay, so each one weighs 1 ounce. Hold on a second. I'll give you an exact number. I got you some math, Chica. All right, so if there
The
are
theoretical enemy is
500
Tiamat.
pounds
Of 1 ounce
times
rocks.
16, because we'll say that they weigh an ounce apiece.
Yep.
Good skipping stones weigh about an ounce. They bounce better that way.
Yep.
Equals 8,000 times 3. It means that you might as well just roll 24d12 and multiply it times 1,000. Pretty much anything that gets hit with all of those rocks, because it will be an area of effect at that point because of spread and things of that nature. So we're going to call it a 20 by 20 foot square, is going to get, all right, being a DM and giving them the spread and the fact that you can't hit all the space all the time unless you're really big. So if you hit a dragon with it, which would definitely cover the 20 by 20 square, you're going to do 24,000 d12. So easy way to do that, 3d12, or 24 d12 times 1,000.
So I one-shotted Tiamat. Nice. Oh, God. Could you just see Tiamat's face, though?
Well, do keep in mind that Tiamat does take half damage from bludgeoning, is a god, so if you're not killing on its own plane of existence, you have other issues. And there's always the fact that it can just decide to nope.
Yeah.
The
Legendary
weird thing was,
resistance.
the first thing I thought of was like little gold nuggets and the yellow brick road, because that's what you would make as you would flying up the road on the broom, is a yellow brick road.
All right. Any other questions?
Go
Because
nugget
I
it
know
back.
you have many a question. Did you read that Google Doc I sent you, Molly Mocking a Better Molly Mock?
No.
Okay. At some point, we want to talk about that, because that is, Bailey is the one who designed the D&D setup for D&D, and had some interesting questions about it, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
got it. So I'm going to need another chocolatini for
Get it.
this.
Get
That
it.
was a lot of math.
Get yourself another chocotini.
By the way, I actually do that fast in tech game because some assholes, hi guys, do that kind of mathy shit to me. Thank God I'm good at it. You have any idea how many times you've almost stutter fucked me in the process?
I doeth not knoweth what you.
We already answered this one, but we are totally gonna say it again. Can I heal vampirism with purified food and drink?
No.
That depends. Are you a cannibal?
Yeah, that depends. Are you a cannibal? My answer was no, because Strahd would not, the said vampire or Strahd or whoever you're casting it on, would not be vampire food themselves.
Yes, but if you consider them food,
Yes, if you are willing to eat the vampire and are committed to it enough.
proving to the prime deities that that's actually food in your eyes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Can I heal vampirism with purified food and drink? Only if you can prove to the prime deities that you are in fact willing to eat vampire flesh.
And you need to purify it first.
They
Which, by the way,
said,
was
though-
Strahd an elf, a human? What was he?
I think he was an elf prior to turning.
Okay, so in Nox, he's totally food if you're in a dire strait, unless you have a thing against eating sentient beings. So yeah, neutral alignment or lower, I would totally allow that to work because morally speaking, they's food in a dire strait.
Yep.
And if you fight in a vampire, everything is dire straits.
Yeah. If you're fighting Strahd,
Then God hates you.
yeah. But man.
Hey, we've got. Yeah, Pudgy.
I love that. More questions, please and thank you. We love your questions. These are good questions, Bailey.
Yeah, they really are.
And neither of us is gonna have a problem helping you work on your DID thing because that would be really fun for players who want to work through that particular issue.
Do what?
There's a part of me that would recommend against it to some degree, though.
Hold up. What?
Bailey is designing a little bit of a rule module, not a full game module,
Okay.
to help players create characters who have DID.
Could I cure We've got another question. You're the host with the most, Pudge.
Okay. Could I? I thought you already covered this whole. Okay, never mind.
No,
something
it's
else.
slightly different.
Could I cure vampirism via enlarge spell by what? There's a little heart on my screen. I can't see what it says.
Can I cure vampirism via enlarge spell by making the body too big for vampirism to be feasible?
No. All you're gonna do is make a bigger vampire.
Okay, now if we're talking science, because this is my area of science, oh my god. So if you make a thing really, really big, let's say you take a mouse and make it the size of an elephant, you are going to see our little mousy friend explode.
I got a question. How do I get the fucking thing off my screen?
I don't know. I don't know, tap it a couple times?
It just sends hearts through the show, but
Okay, tap away from the thingy-maboober.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Close it out and load back in because life is peachy.
I did that. It doesn't work either.
Do
Because
Choco TVs and cope?
mouses' cells are very, very small. And there are a lot of them because they consume energy really, really fast. And so they actually create a lot of heat, which is why they need to be tiny. So if you made a mouse the size of an elephant, those fast-moving cells would be creating so much heat that the elephant-sized mouse would explode.
Or cook everybody in the room.
Yeah. So if you take a relatively human-sized Strahd,
Who's already dead?
who's already dead, but has some cellular activity,
No.
otherwise feeding would not be important.
It's all in the hoodoo.
I disagree.
We can agree to disagree on this because, believe you me, I will never allow you to cure vampirism with...
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you that it is impossible to cure it via enlarging the body because you have cellular activity, whether it is extremely slow in the case of probable vampirism, because, well, extremely slow. If you made it super big and now it's extremely slow, you're going to cause this poor person to have to consume so much that they would literally starve to death, or their cells would engage in freezing behavior.
Or there's the other option, you now have the world's biggest dragon hunter.
Is there a specific command for the command spell that I could use to lock an enemy in a loop?
Is there a specific command for the command spell that I could use to lock an enemy in a loop? That's situational.
I mean, command word repeat?
If Pete and repeat were sitting in a boat and Pete fell out, he was left.
Exactly. That depends. If you're instructing them to go take a bath and wash their hair, just tell them to lather, rinse, and repeat. If you can make it part of the spell because it's a simple command, like telling somebody, like, it can't be more than 10 words of what the command is, and it's a simple function, like lather, rinse, repeat. If I tell you to do that, you're going to lather, rinse, repeat, until the spell stops. If you can get repeat into your command in a way that makes sense as a GM, I would allow it to happen for the duration of the spell, but they would get a wisdom save every round to break.
Alright.
Off of the insight off of their insight score. So if you had a creature with a high insight and you did this, you're fucked.
These are fun questions.
That's a really interesting idea. Enlarge the vampire. Oh yeah, go ahead. You can certainly.
Make it bigger.
I would, as a GM, I would totally tell you if you were at my table and you wanted to try this, you can certainly try.
Right.
And then I giggle. See previous episodes for why that's not good.
Right. Next question is, what is one thing as a DM that your player... What? Stupid heart is in the way.
What is one thing as a DM that your player has done that has made you facepalm?
Just one.
Anything. How about your favorite one?
I have to pick.
Antec jumping off his dragon.
Jumping off my dragon onto another dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Bertha got jealous.
See, I figured you would pick the one where, Antac mollywops the guy unconscious.
This dick.
Yeah, I mean, he did penis whop the guy into submission.
Yeah.
And a mushroom stamp for good measure.
You know what the really sad part is about that? I didn't realize that I had brutal dice, and I had multiple times where I had gotten criticals.
Oh god, he could have brutal criticaled that guy in the face with his dick.
Yeah, but I'm saying, there could have been, a lot less moves that I would have had to do in order to come up with.
Cuthawap. Then he would have had even more stamp prints. As for me, my favorite, Jesus, I have to pick. That's mean. I don't facepalm that often, honestly.
Oh, I can think of some, but I'm not.
I hit it with my head.
Oh, yeah. I facepalm just about every time Kalora hits something with their head.
I mean, me personally, as a player, the only time that I've ever wanted to facepalm during a game was literally Everyone took the time to stealth. Ronan throws a dagger.
What is your reaction to these two words? Nilbog Artificer. My wife is letting me play one.
Which type of artificer? That's where my reaction is going to come from. Are you going alchemist? Are you going artillerist? Are you going defender? What you doing with it?
Yeah, same.
You homebrewing the artificer into something truly terrifying?
Right.
That makes your DM eyes want to bleed and then to drink hard absinthe straight?
Right.
Yeah. Like, artillerist? My honest reaction to that? Ooh, sucks to be you, DM.
The DM would be Bailey's wife.
Well, sucks to be you.
That's gonna cause some arguments in the bedroom later.
No, that isn't gonna cause any arguments in the bedroom.
My only recommendation.
Launch your ballista, it'll all be good.
My only recommendation to you is know the rules for your character, and that would be the same for your wife, is to know exactly how the rules go for that kind of character.
And as fast as you can, take the homunculus trait. Makes it so that you can cast your spells from its location.
Yep.
Plus use your artillerist ballista.
I feel like if I beg Pudgy to fill me another bowl of unicorn poop, I may give myself a tummy ache.
Good call.
I think you will too. I mean, if I make you a third bowl, it'd be equivalent to eating a whole pint of unicorn poop and then some. I think at that point, Kayla would probably get upset with me because you wouldn't want to eat dinner.
Oh wow, what arguments? I cast Cry, it's super effective. Your wife, I hope, is reading and hearing this or will hear this in the future. Nipple clamps are a thing, as are jumper cables and car batteries. If there's a crying happening for something that does not merit tears, cause one.
Yeah, manipulative crying is definitely not appropriate behavior, but I
Yeah.
don't think that's where you're going with it.
Well, it's manipulate. No, that's totally. I cast Cry.
Yeah, and we can take that as a funny haha too, because I know you two, and you both cast Cry on each other frequently.
You do know that that's really not healthy, right?
Oh, it's in the most hilarious circumstances. They're actually the best communicating relationship I've ever seen.
Oh, never mind then.
Like, these two are, like, they will sit and just, like, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy level humor, their marital troubles away.
Okay, so 2 Pangalactic Gargoyle Blasters, a handful of peanuts, and grab their towels and they're good.
Typically, yeah. It's a funny haha. That's what I was saying. Like, I know the context for you guys, so that's why I was explaining.
We don't know. Some of us don't know you.
Yeah.
If you're local, great. If you're not local, we're really sorry. We'd still like to meet you someday if we can ever manage to get big enough to go to conventions.
Unicorn pay!
They're up in Washington. Which, by the way, you guys still owe me a trip south.
We'll write a one-shot.
I will totally endorse that. We will write a one-shot.
See, I'm glad enough that I know you well enough, Inaya, that you making that comment, my mind didn't automatically go to the gutter.
What's wrong
I'm
with
just
you?
a depressed
You promised
robot.
a trip south. Like, my brain just kind of like slid over top of that moment.
Tiamat versus Vecna, who wins? Tiamat. Vecna's undead and therefore vulnerable to fire. One of Tiamat's heads is a red dragon. An ancient, legendary red dragon. Vecna's fucked.
Yeah, Vecna's a chew toy at that point. If he's
And
lucky.
bitch still got 4 more heads to melt him, freeze him, electrocute him, and gas him with. Well, the gas won't do shit.
Right?
But that one will just maul him instead.
Although the gas plus the fire, that makes shit interesting.
Chlorine gas.
Oh, never mind then.
Non-flammable, really shitty to breathe in if you have a pulse.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, if you sat there and you ate a bunch of burritos
Can you tell me a
from
reason
Taco
why the
Bell-
why the mage with the missing eye and hand could win? The Grand Necromancer, how could he beat Tiamat? Come on, it's debate. Give us the counter argument.
I don't have one. I haven't played in that particular situation yet.
Okay, you know the deities though.
Yeah, and my brain is.
Think Tiamat, Forgotten Realms versus Vecna. And let's just go for the most hardcore Vecna I've seen in a hot minute and go for Matt Mercer's version. How's Vecna gonna win?
Take off the fire head first.
Try.
Or
Attempt is
tactics, maybe.
Or tactics, maybe. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the skeletons are resistant to frost, but when we're talking about frost being breathed out the white dragon's head in a cone that covers 120 feet at its far end. Oh yeah, my Tiamat's beefed. Don't go there. I used the 2nd edition rules for Tiamat, and I just converted everything that needed to be converted for the mechanics to function.
Skeletons
over
can
there.
use other skeletons as a shield.
Well, that's great as long as they're not walking through a shit. As long as everything that's more than a foot and a half off the ground isn't turned into a sheet of ice. By the way, ice conducts electricity very well. Score.
Everyone knocks at least one thing over when sitting in the DM's throne.
Yeah, but in this case it was the bubbler. It's just nothing broke on the bubbler from what I can tell. It peed a little.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, it's in front of my bedroom door, so, you know, it peeing a little doesn't really bother me. It kind of just blends with the rest of the house and, like, the smells in here.
Yep.
Most of the house smells like pot. Sorry, I have hobbies that involve being a plant hoarder.
Yep. How would you build Rick Astley in D&D?
Who the fuck is Rick Astley?
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
I
Rickroll.
wouldn't. Like, legit, I wouldn't. Either that or imagine Scanlan, only less promiscuous, overly monogamous, in love with the idea of love, and completely incapable of finding the right woman.
So, in other words, what you're saying is Scandalin as the shopkeeper.
Yeah, like Scanlan and Gilmore had a baby.
Yeah, right there. That's what I was talking about. You know what I was talking
And
about.
then proceeded to teach it to sing better than both of them could ever hope to.
Yep. God, I would call that. I'd want to say College of. What college would that?
At work.
There's either somebody about to run through the door or my light just got here.
Huh?
I'm going to go check because I heard footsteps on the fucking back porch. And there might be a 4-foot tall box in the back porch, and I don't want to leave that lit sitting for too long.
Yeah, not in this neighborhood.
Not in any neighborhood.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it is.
Technically,
Uh,
Keyleth and Pike are Gilmore girls. With an all caps, technically! Yeah, I mean, technically. Everybody adores Gilmore, though. That's why he's got merch. We are listening for trouble.
Yeah, but Gilmore, obviously prefers Vex.
Nothing good. Late pout. Not here yet.
Nothing bad yet?
Nothing bad, nothing good. Well, there wouldn't be anything bad anyway. I'm waiting on a 4-foot-long grow light.
Right. Technically, Keyleth and Pike are Gilmore girls. Big technically. Oh look, you got a new DM to fix.
So what is Vex? Chop liver?
No.
No.
Well, actually, yes. Vax is chopped liver. Like, sukiyaki thin. Oh, you've only watched the cartoon. You haven't watched the whole campaign yet, have you?
Of what?
Vox Machina is campaign 1 for the Critical Role series.
I know. I've seen the other campaign.
Have you watched it all the way through?
So, more than half of it, yeah.
Oh, you're not there
Barbarian
yet.
plus Artificer equals trouble because they can make so many gun blades.
If the DM allows it.
Also, just putting this out there. Barbarian plus Artificer. You thinking small if you aim in Gunblade.
A what, an artificer?
Barbarian.
I think you just made Pudgy happy.
Well, it depends on exactly what my DM would allow, but yeah, I could definitely come up with something.
You're stuck with a DM for the Barbarian you're currently playing, where if you multi-class, that DM says yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't think I would be able to multi-class. I'd only be able to multi-class, like, what, 2 levels, technically?
There's rules up to level infinity.
Because I'm 17, so...
Yeah, Booties in Space is gonna play to level 50.
Okay.
So, you've got time.
Right.
Time is never time at all. Also, as long as we stay in the Astral Sea.
Oh yeah,
don't
you can
have
make
time.
white phosphorus in D&D.
Again, you're thinking small.
Go bigger!
Try this. Create water in a 10-foot hole, then directly underneath of it focus it down to the smallest space your DM will allow you to do. Like the smallest space a spell will allow, and just go for depth on the way that the range works.
Yep.
Volcanic blast. Underneath a water pool. Inside a room. Made out of stone. Next to the main building structure. Support beams. Curious, I've got a question. Inaya, if I put off a pyroclastic blast at the very base of the foundation on the cornerstone for Strahd's castle, in the deepest, dankest part of his dungeon, and create a pyroclastic blast that melts out a 300-foot square radius, what would happen to the castle in Strahd as everything that is his resting place and his native terrain fell off into oblivion?
I think a Warlock Artificer would be fun, too.
Oh god, possessed artifacts. Oh! Channel your patron into your artificer gear.
Create water into someone's lungs.
Doesn't work, you need to be able to see the target.
Yep.
Target space must be visible in order for you to do so. Now, if you happen to open their chest up with, like, say, an axe and can see their lungs, you can totally fill them with water.
Uh-huh.
from what I was looking up, to create water with my Genasi, it was saying you couldn't create water in any space that had any type of living tissue.
Oh, so they've modified the create water spell. No living tissue. Okay,
Yep.
that's cool.
It said living tissue or living organisms. But either way, you wouldn't be able to do it in the lungs because there's living organisms in your lungs.
Now, what you do at that point is you fix your target to a chair, and you fix. Let's see, if we're going pre-tech, we'd go with like a very very thin bit of sheep's ligament in a rounded shape to the front of their face, and you cast create water.
Okay, I've got a question for a DM. If I have a level 1 wizard with mending as a spell, and a guard wearing full plate including the helm is coming at me, and I view the eye slots in his helmet as nothing more than holes that need to be repaired, if I cast mending, will he go blind and have trouble breathing?
I'd have to roll to you'd have to roll to persuade the universe,
Oh, Jesus.
because the creator of that helm saw the eye holes as specifically integral parts of the helm. Therefore, by the laws of the universe, they are integral parts of the helm.
Oh. Okay, so I just create. How about if I say create stone across them?
Hey, thinking.
What about if there's a dungeon and there's rats all across the dungeon floor and there's people in the dungeon and somebody came in and cast heat metal across the floor? Would the rats eat everybody in the dungeon?
If they were trying to get away from the heat, yes.
Yep. What would happen if a shopkeeper made a fake mimic and sold it, but a real mimic took the form of said fake mimic?
Then obviously it wouldn't be a fake mimic. It would be a real mimic.
And somebody's gonna get eaten.
Yeah.
An NPC's about to die, and it's all your fault as a terrible GM.
Right.
The NPCs are only supposed to die if the players do something or a monster comes through. If they die because they created something dumb, that's Darwinism, and that NPC deserved it.
Right.
Some of my NPCs really need to die.
Well, Bailey, as fun as it has been engaging a conversation with you, one, we do this at 4 o'clock every Thursday.
4:30.
4:30.
Sorry, 4:30 every Thursday till like 6 o'clock, sometimes even up to 6:30. Come join us. We will sit and answer your questions like this the whole time.
Every
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, what they said.
But I have a promise to keep to John that we do need to hop on off of here.
Yeah, and figure out whether or not you
Alright.
technically use heat metal on someone's blood since the iron is metal. No.
No, unfortunately.
Can't see the metal.
I've actually tried that with my bard in the Dragons in Downtown.
Yep, we tried that. It did not work.
Yeah, it has to be seen. Unfortunately, you can't Magneto it, which would be fucking awesome. But
Have a great night. Yukwe, if you check in, Bailey and everybody else.
like, subscribe, tell your friends about it.
Share.
Have your friends hop in and ask some questions. Anything you want to ask a DM, ask a DM. If you want to ask something from a player's aspect, I'm kind of a new player, but I'll gladly throw down and give you any answers that I may or may not know. And if I don't know, I'll tell you I won't know, but I'll probably bullshit my way through it, just so you know.
Hey, it works for us.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
wait, hold on.
uh,
I wasn't supposed to. That was the quiet part, wasn't it?
Yeah, we're saying the quiet part out loud. 90% of what you guys end up with in Foodies in Space is some shit I bullshitted out my ass.
Right.
That's why it smells funky.
I created this like intricate fucking, and I'm gonna stop us soon. But I created this intricate fucking experience when our last two players left for you guys to go into the city on Castrovel and go on this freaking awesome murder mystery. Find yourself in this shining, glittering, gleaming citadel that I had all of the imagery in my head for, and y'all hijacked the ship and left.
Oh, they said
And that's
they were
why
done.
you eat all the unicorn poop.
So, no Sunlight Citadel for you.
Also, this Sunday, Foodie is in space. The Airwood campaign, until the revamp is ready for us to brutalize it in some of the most sadistic ways known to man.
Yep, Aylwood is our, please chew on this until you break it game.
And Airwood is foodies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Nox Battalion will be back, not this week, but next week. And Wyverns.
Yes. Oh, by the way, with our GoFundMe that has been posting with our previous videos for the last few weeks now, I do have the stat blocks for the Fell Touch, as far as the way that Nox Natalia's Fell Touch stat block works and how it modifies, alters, and templates anything that works, as well as I will have the stat blocks up for these two wyverns in the near future. They's have been a little bit fuckered with. There's a reason I made sure they understood they were flying over places with dark purples and glowing mushrooms where the sun never touched the ground. Because it's not easy when you're evil. This is the way you see the devil tips his hat
What?
to me.
You've never covered up your nips?
How about you be the one to do the honors of clicking stop streaming?
As you're done covering your nips with paper.
Right.
And with that note, thank you again
Goodbye.
for joining us. We love you guys, and have a great night.
Love,
Bye.
peace, and chicken grease.
Happy
Bye.
nipples.
Perky nipples.
Come on.
And sauce. The mouse is so sensitive.
That's what she